Everyone, if you're watching this video, you have reached the end of week one. But before we talk about week one, I would just like to basically welcome all of you. We have learners from all over the world, from Los Angeles to Hong Kong, and from New Zealand to the UK. And you are all contributing your experiences and your thoughts, and it's amazing to see all the comments from so many different people from all over the world. So before I make specific comments on some of the steps, I would just like to give you an idea on how we developed the course. So when we were putting the course together, we wanted to explore sustainable development using a very simple linear model. We wanted to explore the personal and then the local challenges and local sustainability, and then global challenges, and then go back to the personal. So this is the kind of pattern that we used, personal, local, global, and then back to the personal. This was very important for us because we really wanted to explore with you how sustainability is more than just recycling, which is of course absolutely very important, but we did want to explore all those aspects of sustainability and sustainable development. So this is why in step 1.4 we showed you this video of the different roles, people that are working on sustainable development, and how they have different goals, different aims, and even different understandings of sustainable development. And it was great to see how in the discussion part of step 1.4 you really picked that up, and you were commenting on how some of the roles you never thought linked with sustainable development. So usually I'm trying to keep these videos short, so I don't take up much more of your time, but I'm just going to make a couple of comments on step 1.5 and the quotes. So I've printed out my favorite quote, and I'm showing this to you. Hopefully you can see that. And the reason why I'm deciding to quote Gandalf, and not just Gandalf but Frodo as well, is because we don't always choose. In fact, we never choose the time that we are born in, and sometimes are much more difficult than others. So when it comes, for instance, to environmental challenges like climate change, this is a very challenging moment. It's a very challenging moment for several reasons, plastic pollution, greenhouse gases, which we are going to discuss more in weeks 2 and 3. But this is a very challenging time for anyone who has any interest in sustainable development. The biggest part of our decision is to decide what to do. This is perhaps the most important point that was coming across from your comments, both on step 1.5 but also in other steps. So I was very happy to see that you were exploring the idea of happiness and the idea of purpose and what helps you lead a fulfilling life, and you made some very, very valid comments. One of the best ones that I saw was someone discussing the need versus want, and how we have been focusing on covering what we don't need, and perhaps we should focus on just covering our needs. Now, I would just like to say about that, we were not trying to highlight only the positives. We understand that life is challenging, life is very difficult, life is quite unfair sometimes, and we can't always be happy, and we can't always find purpose and meaning. But we did want to give the learners the opportunity to explore happiness first and purpose first before we can explore everything else. So just to give you an idea, in week 4 we are going to talk about challenges and strategies and difficulties, including the difficulty of mental health and how you can be more resilient. So this course is basically, it's a small journey. It's a journey that is going to last 4 weeks, and we are going to be exploring the positives and the negatives, both when it comes to personal sustainable development and sustainability, and then when it comes to local and global challenges and sustainable development. So I'm really looking forward to reading your comments in the next few weeks. If there is anything you need at all, please don't hesitate to ask the mentors or the educators. We're right there, we're reading all of your comments, and we're doing our best to reply to as many as possible. And thank you very, very much for your engagement in week 1. See you next week.